Maybe there's something wrong with the universe.
Hey everybody, it's Ed. This week it's boosting the signal, and we've got a bit of a special bonus this week. This week we're going to talk with the Justice for Crusher campaign about their campaign to get a Beverly Crusher Funko Pop made from Funko, and why hasn't it happened? And just so that we can balance everything out, I'm going to say goodbye as a human, and I'm going to replace my picture with a Funko Pop. So here's Funko Pop version of me beaming in right now. Get ready for it. All right, now I'm a Funko Pop. Okay, so well, then the magic of editing will put that in. So how is it going, Justice for Crusher campaign? Tell us a little bit about what you're trying to get made and what you want done.
Yeah, so as everybody knows, we've had TNG Funko Pops for about almost 11 years. The first group dropped in 2015, and I'm sure a lot of people were upset, as were we, when Beverly Crusher was notably missing from the lineup. And since then, there have been several Trek drops, not just TNG, but they have little figures pop up here and there, and Beverly Crusher is still nowhere to be seen. And we've noticed one of the reasons the campaign was came to life. Every time a drop for Trek was announced, Funko was saying, "Hey, we have this great, we're having a new release pop up." And again, no Crusher. We noticed the fandom, there would always be buzz. People would be, actively posting, whether on Twitter or Instagram threads about that's great. We're so excited for, whatever figure was coming. Where's Beverly? Where's Beverly? We want Crusher. And we noticed that there was a demand for it, but yet Funko wasn't hearing it. So we're here to basically try to get them to hear us. We want to be loud. We wanted to create a one central localized place where people could be inspired and also have some direction and know what to do in order to how their voices, how their requests could be heard by Funko.
So tell me, what is that one central place? Tell us where to go.
Absolutely. So we did a lot of research. We started preparations for this campaign in the fall of 24. I believe it coincided with the drop of the Star Trek Picard Funkos. You had Picard, Jack, Raffi, Seven. You didn't have Beverly. And I will say that lit a fire. So we put together a whole campaign, like outline, and life got in the way a little bit. So this year we decided we were going to make it happen. So, but part of that research, we found that Funko responds really well to social media campaigns, sort of anything big and loud, catch their attention, get the fans riled up. And part of that is actually submitting specific requests through the Funko website. And we have that link on our Instagram account. It's in the bio. We always, encourage people to click on the link and it takes you directly to the submission page for Funko. And it's really simple. It takes maybe 30 seconds. You fill in your information, name, email, the character, the fandom that you want, and you put a reason why. And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be an essay. It's just, I really love Beverly Crusher. I really want a Funko. We've encouraged people to potentially say other things, why they want a Beverly Funko, what Beverly means to them, how she's an inspiration, how she's a central part of the cast, how her characters, oh my gosh, I could go on forever about Beverly. But basically, in a nutshell, we just want people to submit through the official Funko website because we want Funko to see the volume. We want there to be a high volume of requests that are submitted, preferably on a daily basis. Every Friday, we have something called Fan Action Friday, where we really try to gear it up and encourage people to really submit on Friday. We know life gets in the way. It's sick season. Everyone I know is sick. We have jobs, we have kids, we have school, we have all the things going on. And so we wanted to create one central day where we really encourage people to submit. So that's Friday. And we want Funko to see us. We want to, for lack of a corny phrase, pump up the volume for them. And we really just want them to see how much love the fans have for Beverly. And we want them to recognize that and create a Funko, a long overdue Funko.
Oh, indeed. I mean, and it's really curious why it hasn't happened. I mean, we've had Wesley Crusher, although Oddly enough, he was they put him under a strange their NFT line. They had done the NFTs, and you had to basically buy so much digital things that don't really exist in which to get a physical release. I of course got one, but like, um, yeah. I mean, why not Beverly? I mean, female characters haven't truly been ignored in Star Trek. I mean, if you think about it, we did get a Marina Sirtis, uh, Troy,
Hmm.
like you said, Raffi. We've had two Seven of Nines now. Technically, there is one that's been released, another one upcoming with,
Hmm.
and so it is curious. And I know from speaking to people that have worked in Funko in the past, a lot of it does come down to what the company wants. So it's when Star Trek or Viacom, Paramount, whoever Skydance now owns them, and when they put the requests in, it's usually them making the requests for what gets made. So, have you thought about extending your campaign to letting those people know as well, along those company lines?
We have there are multiple layers to our campaign, so I will say yes without going into too much detail. But yes,
Okay.
that has been contemplated and it's in the works.
Okay.
And I will just say I agree with you. One of the things I often think about initially, when the TNG line came out in 15, there must have been some sort of discussion, a meeting. There must have been something where people got together and decided, hey, who do we want, what pops do we want to produce? And it makes me sad. And I think it makes a lot of fans sad that Beverly was overlooked. She was a central part of the cast. She was a series regular for 6 out of the 7 seasons, and she should have been there. And it's really a shame that since then she hasn't been included. And like you said, there could be several reasons. I know some people, it's been a long enough time where I think some people start to go places like, is it discrimination, or what was like, did they have something like wrong with her? Was it just because she was a mother and she wasn't, I think Gig said this in her video, a sex bomb or something. And and I don't know I don't know. Nobody knows the reason why. And maybe it was just a really bad oversight on somebody's part and it just hasn't been discussed. I know next year is the 40th anniversary of TNG. Maybe Funko has a fun line planned for that. I don't know. I would hope so. I just think it's really time that this character is given the honor of having a Funko, considering the entire cast has one, basically. I mean, your series regulars. Hey, even the random Klingon got one. I think that
Yeah.
was the first drop. It was, you had a random Klingon. And look, we all love Picard, we all love Riker, and they have enough, in my opinion. And I would love to see more female characters represented in the Funko line from Star Trek. I don't think we have a Jadzia. I would love to see that. Stuff like that. Just like really strong female characters that are role models for young women, young role models for kids who watch TV with their parents, who watched, Star Trek growing up, and they feel a connection to these characters and they get excited. I will say I started watching Star Trek as an adult, and I'm really glad that I did because I view it through a different lens, I think, than I would have as a child. But even as an adult, watching the show and really connecting with Beverly and loving everything about her, and then getting excited to, oh, I'm going to buy all this merchandise, and then find out, oh, wait, there's not as much out there for her as there are for other people. And it's a shame, and it's a missed opportunity, I think, that they could do really well. Like Funko could make a lot of money if they represented some more strong female characters in their line.
Yeah, I think you might have hit the nail on the head too when it comes down to making money. I mean, there's always the possibility that it does come down to can they make the money from it? It's expensive to make a mold. Do, the licensing and everything else, will we recoup what we lose in making it? And this campaign could go very far in the way of letting them know that yes, there is a money making opportunity, but it's going to take everyone signing up and submitting and getting those numbers up there. Um, do you have, you know, think of it like this is a weird segue, but you kind of want to think of it like Fight Club. And
Hmm.
where if you've ever seen Fight Club, you
Yes.
know, it's like if it's your first night, you got to bring someone with you. You know, it's like if you're going to show up for the Justice for Crusher campaign, you got to bring somebody with you and show them the campaign, get them to sign up as well. Um, and I really I want it to happen. I'd like to happen. I would love to have a Beverly Crusher pop. I know that she, Gates McFadden herself, wants it. I've seen her videos. And it's nice that other companies have not ignored her, like Nacelle, like even
Mhm.
Playmates. You know, there are figures of her. There are, but you know, Funko, if you're watching, which I'm going to tag you,
Mhm.
communicate, help us out here, let us know something. You know. Now, I do want to ask you on the just out of curiosity. This is let's say you do get a pop. Is there a consensus within your group as to a variation that you would love to see first? Or is it just anything you can get?
Oh, wow, wow. I mean, personally, it's been what, 11 years now since they've overlooked her. I think we need one of every iteration that anybody can think of. It would be great to have a couple, but me personally, I mean, our group, I think, honestly, anything that we could get would be wonderful. I can see just Beverly in her, TNG uniform with her lab coat. The reveal we did this week was from Remember Me, and it's classic Beverly from the series. I would love that. I would also love to see Beverly from Picard because the 20-year evolution she went through, and just how she came back, just full badass in Picard. I would love to see a Picard Funko. I would love to see her, the woman on our campaign who creates all the Funkos. She did a wonderful job last week with the Picard with her little phaser. I'm sorry, not Picard. Beverly in Picard with the little phaser, and I'm obsessed with that one. So I
Yeah,
guess if it was me, it would be one of those two. But the great thing with Beverly is that she had so many different fun outfits that we really tried to highlight in this campaign. She went through a lot, like with the Big Goodbye. That was an iconic dress. Everybody loved that. We posted a couple of clips, and people went crazy. And they love to celebrate Beverly. Remember Me is again another iconic episode, and we're celebrating all of TNG episodes this week, but of course, with the Funko, you have to do the concept had to be Remember Me. That's just, it's fitting. Remember me, right? Please remember me. Get
and
really a Funko.
speaking of Remember Me, the one thing I do really appreciate that you're doing on your page is your Tuesday trivia. You're posting things
Hmm.
like, you know, as an example this week you're showing, you know, like what was the premiere date for Remember Me, you know, and stuff. Keeping active and keeping, you know, interest daily on a daily basis and everything else is very important. And I appreciate stuff like that and your Friday, you know, features and stuff. It's you're doing the right thing. It's sometimes I know it can feel like you're yelling into an open crevasse and no one is listening and it's just your own echo. And I get that. Funko is pretty bad about you know saying, oh, we're going to make this because the company line is usually, you know, we can't talk about that due to licensing issues or whatever else. But at the same time, it would be nice if they would at least acknowledge you. Have you had any acknowledgement from the company in any way, shape, or form, be it likes, comments, nothing?
Well, nothing yet. There's a fan account for Funko, the Funko News, and that they've liked a couple of comments we've made on their page, but nothing from the official Funko, original Funko account. We didn't, honestly, going into this, we didn't expect that. Based on the research we did, we know that we know they see us.
Okay.
We've heard from supporters of the campaign who have been submitting. And when we submit too, we do the same thing. Add a link to the Justice for Crusher Instagram account. So we know that they know that we're out here. We know that they see our submissions. Gates, when she recorded that video the first or second week, and last time I checked, it had like 15,000 views. And
Wow.
then Nerdist did an article after her video came out about how Gates wanted a Funko. And last time I checked, that had a lot of views as well. So I know they know we're here. I don't think we had an expectation that they would interact with us or confirm a Funko. I think the hope and the dream is always there. That would be wonderful. We have 2 weeks left starting yesterday. So we're really trying to do a big push. And I love your Fight Club reference. Yes, please bring a friend. We're really encouraging folks to have their friends, family, whoever, follow our page, like and repost everything. Obviously, submit to Funko as often as you can. You can submit multiple times per day. You have a couple emails, great, use those. Just but we know I'm sure they've seen us. You know, and hopefully at some point they'll acknowledge that. And to your point about licensing, that's something I've been very curious about because Beverly is part of the TNG line, right? So, I mean, if they're able to license and provide, produce Funkos of all the other TNG series regulars, I don't understand why she would be any different.
Normally, the first thought I would have had normally would have been whether or not she had signed off on her likeness, which I know is not an issue because she has been very adamant at wanting this. So I know that if that was part of it, then that would have come up at some point.
Mhm.
But I know in the past, like with Super 7, another toy company, they were going to do one of the character of Guinan from TNG, and it didn't happen because Whoopi Goldberg did not sign off on her likeness. And I
Mhm.
thought, well, that was interesting because like you, I always assume if it's Paramount and it's a license that they own, that they are able to sign off on whatever gets made. But it must be on individual bases and such as that. So I'm sure there's more legality to it that I don't understand, you don't
Oh, absolutely.
understand.
Yeah.
I welcome anybody that does have any idea or any comments. Like I said, all of the links will be attached to the postings as I can. They'll be on the screen. Of course, we're going to tag Funko. We're going to tag everybody that needs to be tagged. I want your message to get out there as much as possible. Um, I will make sure that there's a link to the Nerdist article as well. I appreciate you letting me know that. I didn't see that. So that's something that I will definitely go back and check as well. Um, Now I'm hoping that to get this out there, and I'm hoping that we can make something happen. Before we go, is there anything else that you would like to really touch on and let people know that they need to do? Like, what is like, is there something like, can they reach out to you? Can they, if they have any ideas, are you open, receptive to ideas from other people
Oh,
on?
absolutely. Yeah, we've had several fans and supporters just DM us on our Instagram account, probably the easiest and fastest way. We have an email address too, justice, the number four, and then crusher at Gmail. But a DM through Instagram, always fun, always available. We've had several fans reach out with suggestions. We had somebody reach out last week. Her name's Abby Norman, and she actually put together a wonderful, wonderful list of Beverly's qualities and accomplishments and everything that she's done in hopes, and that was for us to help create maybe some suggestions that fans could use when submitting to Funko. We're 4 weeks into a campaign. Sometimes I sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I say? I was making poems for Funko on Valentine's Day, like roses are red, violets are blue, stuff like that. Because it's hard to always think of something. So we really appreciate the thought Abby put into that. And we're actually going to be incorporating that into some posts to give people some suggestions of maybe some things to say. One of the things, I think to answer your question, when you're submitting to Funko, just come up with really, just instead of saying, I would like a Beverly Funko, please, thank you, really tell them why. One of the things that everybody always talks about is how strong female characters like Crusher, who are in the medical field, inspire people to, like in real life, to go into the medical field. And one of the things I've always thought of is because I'm not sure if Gates mentioned this in an interview a long time ago. I think she was having a conversation with somebody, but just she was speaking with a fan who told her, I went into the medical field because of you. And I often think about that because just one of those like a butterfly's wings type of thing. Like how many people has this character inspired to go on to become a doctor who's then become a doctor who saved lives? And Beverly Crusher inspired that. Beverly Crusher has in turn saved people's lives. And not just her, other characters as well, but those types of reasons. Tell Funko what she means to you. Let them know why this character deserves a Funko, not just because she's a member of the TNG cast, but go deeper. Why? What does she mean to you? How does she inspire you? Well, what qualities does she have that is inspirational for young girls, women, adults? I mean, for me as well. Just what does she have that is makes her deserving of a Funko? And there's a laundry list. She's amazing. The character is amazing. Gates did an incredible job bringing the character to life, and it's time she's honored. So just when you're writing those submissions, take a couple seconds just to, jot a couple of things down as to why Beverly is amazing, what she means to you, and we hope Funko hears that and really takes it to heart.
All right, well said, and I hope they do as well. More power to you, more power to everyone, more power to the entire campaign. Please, everyone, follow suit. First of all, give Justice for Crusher a follow. Check out the campaign. Help out if you can. Even if you have already helped out, help out again. Get another email. Emails are free. And do what you can. I thank you for your time. I really hope that I hope this helps, and I hope everyone. I hope this happens.
Yes,
I
thank
hope
you.
that
We're
I
very
hope some.
excited, and we're really hoping that this, comes to fruition. Next week, Monday, is Gates's birthday. Funko, if you're out there, not a bad day to reach out and let us know that you approve of a Beverly Funko. Just throwing it out there as a suggestion. It would be a great birthday present. But, anytime is good too.
Well, happy birthday to her. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you for having us.
Hi, this is Rudy and Gates McFadden. I played Dr. Beverly Crusher. Rudy just is a cat, but a fabulous cat. Well, Rudy and I have been wondering why there is no Beverly Crusher Funko. For years, I've been wondering this. Not even after Picard, when she was action, she had the weapons under control, she was a fighter, everything. No, doesn't matter. Are they discriminating against women who are mothers or who are doctors and are not like sex bombs? But remember Sub Rosa, she did have quite an encounter with that lamp. At any rate, I would appreciate it if you would do this favor for me. Below my Instagram in the link, there is a form that you would fill out that you want a Crusher Funko Pop. Send it off and let's see if it makes a difference. If we get one, that would be fantastic. I would be thrilled because everyone at Comic-Con's always, as they sign, other people are signing theirs, they're saying, how come they never had one of you? How come they still don't? When other characters are getting 2 and 3 of them. So I don't know, but I do feel a bit discriminated against. So let's see if it's true, or maybe they just don't like Crusher.